Hi, and welcome. My name is Kerron Brebnor, and I'm from the Maranatha Christian Assembly. And I want to welcome you to the first installment in a new series called Encounters. And it's just to motivate, to inspire, to encourage you, and certainly to lead you toward faith in Jesus Christ. And why encounters, you might say, or you might ask, right? I mean, we all have them, right? I mean, those sudden, unexpected, unplanned situations or experiences, that really catch us off guard sometimes. But some are positive, good experiences. Some are good, some are bad, and some are really traumatic. The fact is, we all have encounters as we journey through life. Yeah, some encounters, we can move on from fairly quickly. Some, it seems like it takes us a lifetime to get over them. Some encounters we embrace with joy, and others we wish never happened at all in the first place. The fact is, encounters are always with us. And it seems like encounters actually define our lives. Our lives are somewhat defined by encounters because some way or another, some encounters actually change the way we think and change the way we act. So it's very insightful, and we hope, of course, to really inspire and encourage you with this new series. Today on Encounters, I want to talk about storms. You see the setting, overcast, I'm on the seafront, fishing boat in the background, and I want to talk a bit about storms. Why storms? I mean, just on the weekend a few days ago, we had the passage of a tropical storm, Gonzalo, and we're accustomed to storms in this area. It's the hurricane season, and we expect to encounter storms in this time. And as human beings, I think we can all agree that we have our own personal hurricane seasons at times. Those really bad, rough, challenging times. We all go through those periods. Maybe serious family situations, family breaking apart, a bad doctor's report, financial loss, you lost your job, loss of income, children given problems. We always have these situations. They seem to come wave after wave after wave, and sometimes they tend to want to overwhelm us. We don't know how to respond. How do we respond? In fact, in the Bible, in the Gospels, in the book of Mark, there's an account, a very insightful account of a day when Jesus took his disciples on a boat across the Sea of Galilee. And guess what? They encountered a storm. They didn't plan for it, it just happened. The Bible says Jesus was asleep in the back of the boat when it happened. And when the storm came and the waves were just filling up and battering the boat, and the disciples were so desperate, trying to bail out water, eventually they came to Jesus and woke him up and said, "Listen, aren't you afraid, Master, that we're going to die? We're sinking here, man. Do something." And Jesus gets up, he looks around what's happening, and he rebukes the wind and the waves, and there was a great calm. And the disciples were amazed at the power that Jesus had over nature. And Jesus was amazed at their lack of faith. In fact, he said, "Where is your faith?" The fact is, in storms, if you happen to be in a storm, in a boat, one thing you'll need for sure, right, is a fearless captain. Yeah? Someone who knows the way. Someone who knows how to navigate through stormy situations and get you to the other side safely. And you may say, listen, I like to be the captain of my own ship. And that's fine. I think we all love to be the captains of our own ships. But guess what? It's very easy to be the captain of your own ship when things are going really nice and smooth, right? But when things get rough, when they are really, really, really trying, I think it's only then that we realize that we really don't make good captains. Yeah, we make poor decisions. Sometimes we're crippled by fear in the situation and by doubt. We are immobilized by indecision. And a lot of times we realize, hey, listen, we really don't make good captains. But thanks be to God that there is a captain who knows the way. Yeah, in fact, he not only knows the way, he declares that he is the way, and his name is Jesus. And that's the captain I want to introduce to you today. A lot of times, we tend not to see that. But what Jesus wants to do, he wants to teach us how to navigate safely through our stormy situations. And that's all he simply wants us to do. He wants us to trust him to take us through our storms. A lot of times when we travel on the boats, on the planes, we don't know who's in command of that boat or that plane, but yet we have to entrust our lives to them for the period of the journey, right? Yeah. Naturally, we don't tend to trust people we don't know. So in that situation, it's a kind of blind trust. It's a kind of forced trust. I don't know them, but I have to. And the opposite is true. Imagine you're traveling on a boat or plane, and you know the pilot, you know the captain. I mean, you may have grown up with them, you went to school with them, you know their family, and they know you. You know them personally. You know their voice. Imagine how comforting it is in that sort of situation. You tend to trust them even so much more. You're a bit more at ease because you know the person, you trust them more. And that's all Jesus wants to do. He wants us to know him, to be able to trust him, to take us through our storms. And the only way to trust Jesus more is to know him more. He wants us to know that he is able to have power over our storms, to be able to calm our storms. He wants us to know that he is able to give us peace in the midst of our storms. I want to tell you this. The more we get to know God, the more you'll trust him, and the more we will understand how he is able to use your encounter, right, to fulfill his purpose.